Hi there, Wycliffe Barrett, Xplane dedicated. Today you're going to have the first in a series of videos regarding the A300 from inibuilds. And today's video is going to be, of course, Cold and Dark Start. We'll see you right after the intro.
November 180 Bravo Bravo, good afternoon to you. Report your altitude? 2,000 feet on 1014, Bravo Bravo. Bravo Bravo.
So today what we're going to do is we're going to do a cold and dark start in the a300-600r by inibuilds. As I've said before in my previous video, this aircraft is absolutely fabulous. It's very complex, and of course the startup routine is slightly different from a modern Airbus. The first thing we need to do though is get a flight plan, because there is some data and information we need from the flight plan. Here you can see I've got a flight plan from SimBrief, and what I really need is to create the plan and then put it into my output folder, FMS flight plans folder, so I can actually get the flight plan into the aircraft. I also need to get a little bit of information off this flight plan, so I need the zero fuel weight, my CG and my fuel on board figures as well, and we need that, so the block fuel should I say, and we need that because we will be inputting that into the EFB of the aircraft before we even get started in doing the startup routine. So I've chosen a flight plan today from Cardiff to Malpensa, and here you can see me putting it into the output folder, FMS plans there. This output, there it is, and then into the FMS plans. Okay, so therefore I can pull it into the aircraft. It's basically an Xplane plan, plain and simple. Brilliant. There we have it. Cardiff to Malpensa, LIMC. So having done that, let's get into the aircraft, and the first thing we need to do is go into the electronic flight bag here to the ground controls and the load manager. So first thing we need to do is turn on external power, the chocks, air stairs, there they are, air stairs, first front left, rear left, and then also we need the loader, and I think we need the fuel truck and the passenger. So next page, fuel truck, and come on, fuel truck and passenger bus. Now we need those things, otherwise when we go to load the aircraft, nothing would happen if they weren't there. Okay, so that is that for the time being. Okay, so we now look at transferring some of the figures that we got from our flight plans, so such as fuel, and we just put that in there. So I think I was a 0.2 out of something, but you can get your fuel in that way. Okay, so then next is, if I recall, passengers, so we'll put some passengers in. Okay, just cleared it just to make sure it was clear, and then we'll put some passengers on board. I can't see the numbers, but whatever you want. And then of course you need some baggage and cargo. Now the EFB is computing it, and you can see it's computed everything there. So we've got a zero fuel weight, a fuel on board number, and our zero fuel weight CG. Now it's very important that we have these things because we need these a bit later on. Now we can load everything into the aircraft, so you can see it's loading and computing. All of that is loaded into the aircraft. It's all computed for the FMC. It keeps saying FMC, but it's MCDU. Okay, so we need to now start the aircraft up, and it's fairly straightforward to start. And the first thing we need to do is turn the batteries on. And so you can see I've turned the batteries on, and they're all lit up. And also I've turned on the yaw and trim switches, and now APU is available, so we can now turn on the APU and get the aircraft running on APU power. I've just turned the left engine, and you can see that N2, M1 is going up there, and when it gets to 22%, then you can put the fuel in. Now some people say 20, but it is actually 22. So once the N1, N2, I can't remember, M1 figure is at 22. Then you can load the fuel in and the fuel will just ignite. It's quite an automatic process. So there we lift it up and immediately you can see the EGT rising and engine 1 has started perfectly. Now to engine 2. Yep, there was a switch over. And once again you can see it rising there. So we just wait for it to get to 22 and then we can put the fuel in and it'll be done immediately. Almost immediately anyway, that's the thinking behind that. And there we have it, engine 2, the switch over of power then from the APU to generated power within the aircraft, so we can now turn off the APU, also turn off external power. Okay, I think that's about it. So the startup is fairly routine, very simple. The next video will show programming the MCDU/FMC and how to get all that data from the EFB into the FMC. I have noticed that a lot of people are watching the channel but they're not subscribed. Please subscribe, click the bell for notifications, share and leave a comment because YouTube loves all of that stuff. Hope you found this very short video useful. We'll see you again very soon. You all take care now and cheerio.